guys are doing well. I am finally Florida bound. I gotta go pick up Delilah. I will try to keep this phone on as much as possible. I'm back in Florida, or back in Bradenton. It's 77 degrees here. I went from 30 degrees to now 77 degrees. It's a little crazy. So hopefully you guys can ride with me. To mamas, I'm so sorry. We're going to do a real live tonight, and we're going to go through some of the stuff that I got an opportunity to do. It was great. Hey, Denise, JH, it's nice to see you guys. We are rolling. We're about to head over to Mom's house to pick up Delilah. I just dropped Mr. Glenn off. We kicked ass at the state capitol. Well, I will be honest with you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I'm not going to go into the conversation, but for the first time, I think Glenn and I found something we disagree on. I really do. Politically, like we agree on just about everything. That kind of sort of. But I think we found something that we totally disagree on. Totally disagree on. But that's okay. That's okay. It was a great conversation. It was a great conversation. He taught me a few things. I think he learned a few things. I don't think it swayed his mind at all, though. But that's okay. Still love the man. Still love the man. But we kicked ass there. We met with some politicians. We had an opportunity to speak at the state capitol about the Charlie Kirk Remembrance Day, which is going to be October 14th. It advanced the House. It looks like it's going. That was a subcommittee. So I think this was the second subcommittee it had gone through. And so we'll see how that works for the state of Florida, if they're going to be able to do that. I look awful because I didn't put anything on. Hey, April, the real me too. Linda, it's nice to see you, Mama Bear. Hey guys, I didn't put it. If one of the mods wants to put 10 minutes on or whatever, it looks like everybody's playing nice in the chat, so I don't see any point in doing that. But it was a good trip. I felt like we made a lot of progress. I've decided that I think I'm going to move further north. Remember, I told you guys I'd like to go further north and stuff like that, but I think I've found where I can be most effective outside of DC in the state of Florida. So I think I'm going to start moving. When I do decide to move, I'm moving further north, closer to Tallahassee, so I can be an hour and a half from the capital. To start advocating on a state level versus a county level. So that's going to be in the future. In the next, few years, I'll start doing that. I'm already starting to get everything boxed up in the house as is, to start making my way out. But I think that it was a very, very good trip. I met some people. You guys saw me speak in the Florida Capitol, and there's a lot of work there. Big buildings, big buildings, and waiting for elevators and stuff like that. The one thing I can say is that we're going to probably have to be working on priorities a little earlier. This is too late. When I met with all the people with the Republican Liberty Caucus, bills were already filed, and they're not withdrawing the bills. Whether they're good bills or bad bills, the bills are already filed. Us being there in January is too late. And so one of our leaders or past leaders was saying we need to be there in the fall, and when this legislative session begins, to help them do the proper bills or whatever the case may be. So anyways, overall, I thought a very, very good trip. Let me get my glasses on, so when I stop at lights, I'll read the chat with what I can. Hey, Mama Bear, it's nice to see you. Hello. Let this subject to the men worry about taking care of the home. Let the subject worry about taking care. I don't know what that means. Hey, Connie or Karen, it's nice to see you, love. I hope you're doing well. But I thought it was good. I think we're going to start focusing on some Ellen Greenberg. I've been, looking over that case, and eyeballing that case now that the feds have taken that case over, and it's really going to get a good, thorough look. And they're also looking at the corruption in Pennsylvania. As many of you guys know, I think the DA is garbage. I think that he should have been, after Kata Scott and the Ellen Greenberg case, he should have been kicked out of the DA's office on his ass. But I can't fix the stupid in Philadelphia. And I'm going to say that if it offends people, it's not my problem. You know, you guys need to vote better. So this has been a very interesting case. I think many of us are we want to understand why it was designated as suicide when clearly it was a homicide. I mean, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand when you have a severed spinal cord, you can no longer use your arms and legs, right? So the idea that somebody can continue to stab themselves after they have a severed, spinal cord is insane. It defies logic, is what it does. It defies human nature and body function. So there's no possibility of that. So anytime after that sever of her injuring herself anymore with a knife, there's literally no possibility of that being a possibility. None. Zero. Zilch. It defies logic. It defies a human body, unless she's some type of superhuman. Oops, sorry. I'm not even. I'm like literally far, far, far away from them. I can't even turn this around. That's how far away I am. I'm far away, but my for whatever. Oh, you guys can't see. But for whatever reason, I've got this crash indicator too far out. It's like 20 feet. So if somebody, anyways, doesn't matter. What was I gonna say? Ellen Greenberg. So you know that whenever you have a severed spinal cord, you're basically paralyzed. And people should know what paralyzed means. It means you can't use body functions. So the idea of her continuing to stab herself over and over again after a spinal cord injury is impossible unless she's a superhuman. And she's not a superhuman. She's a normal human that lost her life. She is not an immortal. She's clearly a mortal. She lost her life. So her body would function like a normal human being. So if her spinal cord was severed, she would not be able to use her extremities. Yet they are basically saying that, yeah, she had a spinal cord injury, but according to the doctors, she could continue to move her body even though she was paralyzed, which again doesn't make sense, and nobody can explain that. So the federal government getting involved in the Ellen Greenberg case, and not just involved in the investigation part, but actually involved in the corruption aspect of it, that means them looking at the officials to find out why they did what they did. Why they did what they did. And I think this is going to be very interesting, and it's going to be a case that we all want to know why. So let me know your thoughts. Bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Do you guys want to go over the Ellen Greenberg case? Would you like to find out the why factor in this? It's a case that's been haunting Pennsylvania for quite some time, and many people believe her fiance is the responsible party. I looked at the door, I looked at the evidence. It doesn't bode with what he said. He said he had to break into the house because the door was locked. There was no damage on the front door frame. Okay, I have had to break into my house before, and I can tell you I had to practically replace my entire front door. Okay, it was either that or shattering a window and going through the window. So we tried to do the door. We got a little rough with the door. The door finally did open, but it was so far damaged, the whole door needed to be replaced. So the idea that there was literally no damage on an apartment door that was locked, that had to be broke into, I'm not sure if I'm buying that tidbit of information. It doesn't seem to hold water with the photos that I'm looking at, unless they have some other type of photo in that, piece of paper or in that file. Hey guys that are coming in, if you're coming in and wondering what I'm doing, I'm just getting back. I haven't seen you. I haven't did a live. We were very, very, very busy. The only times I could do a live was early in the morning, and it was 30 degrees outside. And for me to go out there and do a live, I wasn't doing it. I wasn't going to do it. Oh, look at guys. We get to come to a complete stop, the train. Now I can read some, I'm going to be able to read some. Let's see if we can open the door. We got the Tropicana train. If you guys are Tropicana purchasers, don't forget that Tropicana comes from Bradenton, Florida. That's my area. Tropicana has been a supplier of orange juice all over the world. I don't know why we pay so much for it to be here, for it being in our backyard. We pay more for Tropicana here in this county than anybody pays around this country or around this world. I don't know why they have it set up that way, especially since we produce it, but we pay more for it. Just saying, not playing. All right, let me get my glasses on. Let's see what you guys have to say. Oh, is Justin for all in here? Hello. Oh, we do have Justin for all. Brown chicken, Brenda, Deanna. It's nice to see you, Melanie. Oh, it's nice to see you, Candy. If you guys haven't hit the thumbs up button or the subscribe button, please consider doing that. We typically well, we haven't been typically talking about true crime here lately. We've been talking a lot about a lot of crime going on around the country, governmental crime, right? First of all, our government is the biggest criminal of everybody. I think everybody on both sides of the aisle can agree with that. But we've been having a lot of crime, a lot of rioting, a lot of unrest around this country. And I think many of us, if you're like me, are very worried about what comes next. Are we heading for a civil war? Are we going to settle tension? Are we going to start reaching across party lines? Are we going to start repairing ourselves? Are we going to have to start doing it? Should we fire our federal government? There's a lot of talks that are going on right now about what we should do in this country, what we can be doing in this country to help right this wrong. And folks, I hate to tell you, our government is dysfunctional. Okay, it's dysfunctional, even up in our Florida Capitol. There is no working. It's them and us. Okay, it just is. Um, it's unfortunate it's gotten that way, but it's infected. If it's affected our government locally, and it's affecting our government statewide, and it's affecting our government federally, um, at what point do we as the public start saying we're tired of this on both sides of the aisle? And I want to let you guys know, the Black Panthers has spoken up. Okay, if you guys haven't been watching, and you guys can fact check me on this, the Black Panthers have made a statement on the record, and their statement on the record is we're not getting involved with the immigration stuff. They're taking jobs from us. They're stealing our money. So I think for the first time, both sides are kind of on the same plane. The only people that aren't are the white liberals. Okay, and they're saying don't have the white liberals drag us into this. This is not our fight. So the leader of the Black Panther Party, has said this is not our fight. We're not going to sit here. We want these illegals out of our country. They're stealing our jobs too. So we now have consensus, bipartisan consensus, with some major leaders of some major parties, whether you consider them radical parties or not. It doesn't matter your opinion of it. The bottom line is even the radical fringe of their party, the normal mom and pops of their party, and the radical fringe of our party, and the normal moms and pops of our party are all agreeing that we ain't getting in this fight. So who's sponsoring it? You know, who's sponsoring it? And if you don't believe me, go, you can, it's well known. We've read it all the way up here. The Black Panther president has spoken. He has made it very clear to the people of the Black Panther Party, they're standing down. They're standing down. They do not, they want these people out of this country as well. So that's where we are. That's where we are. I'm sorry you're a white liberal lady. Have a great day. You'll find it very quick. We don't deal with disrespect up in here. Very, very quickly. So now you can sit in the corner and you'll never be able to speak to me again. And I'm sorry that you all have pissed off the entire world, but we are all pissed off. And I think that now we know how one radical fringe party is feeling about the situation. I think that that is a point of unity that we can all have. If that's what we can unify on is these illegals, then let's do that, right? But I thought it was very interesting with the comments because I agree 100% with the comments. So, and I'm okay saying that. I'm okay saying that. If one of you guys want to set the criteria, because we're talking about politics and we've got people that are idiots out here, I just want to let you guys know if you're out there in the big bad world, I don't like white liberals, okay? When it comes to my racism, I am a racist against white liberals. So if you're a white liberal, this is not your channel, okay? I'm America first, I'm a MAGA first, I'm Bullhorn Betty, and I love President Trump. And if that drives you absolutely insane, this is not your channel. Okay, I can promise you that. Let me fix this. And nothing you can do here. We're battle tested on this channel, just to let you know. Battle tested. All right, there you go. All right, there. We'll make it easy for you guys. 5 minutes. If you want to bitch at me or take my time, you're gonna put some watch time on these books, baby. Anyways, it was good to hear that. It seems like we're starting to have some unity on the front of ICE, which is good. We know that it's radical Antifa people that are domestic terrorists terrorizing our communities. Um, and we can see who these people are. You can tell that they are not the people from these communities in these urban areas, right? Why? Because they're old white people in predominantly black and brown communities. It doesn't make sense. It's like if something was going on in Manatee County, you would expect to see, older white people because that is 90% of this community, right? When it's opposite, you would expect to see that community being appropriately represented, but they're not. And that's pissing people off that people are coming to their community to raise this hell in their community, interfering with their life over something that they're not representing and don't give a shit about. That's what's happening in Minnesota, despite what people would like to say. So it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks a little bit, but I'm not going to get into Minnesota until we get some more talking points. Obviously, Tim Walz and Mayor Fry are under investigation, along with their AG Ellison for their fraudulent dealings in their state and stealing from their own people and taking literally money out of babies' mouths and the people that need it the most. And that's why the Black Panthers are not getting involved in this, because it's taking money out of people's mouths that need to be fed. You got to understand, when they robbed $18 billion, they took it from the most vulnerable, the babies of the community. This was feeding kids, providing daycare for children, for parents that need it. That's what they stole from. Love how Bullhorn lives rent free and trolls. I know. I know they can't stand it. I make their head explode, but that's okay. I don't care. That's what I try to do. The more you speak about it, the less you have to worry about it. Because if you keep telling people and keep dogging white liberals, they don't like being disrespected. They can't handle it, right? Because they're so fucked up in the head. They can't handle it. They'll just leave. They'll say something really mean and make themselves feel better, and then they'll just leave because they're all talk, no action people. All they do is try to destroy, destroy, destroy. And people like me, they're bugs, right? They're bugs. That's all. You're a gnat. Shoe fly shoe. And that's what drives them nuts, is because they can't sway strong-willed people that use their own brain, people that aren't psychotic, crazy-ass people that want to take Aunt Jemima off a freaking bottle just to say they did it. Meanwhile, the people that support Aunt Jemima want Aunt Jemima back on the bottle, and they look a little like Aunt Jemima. So who ruined that? White liberals. Cracker Barrel, right? throw the cracker out with the barrel. Not even going to go there. So this trip was good. It really was. I learned a lot. It was my first time there. I will tell you guys this. This is one thing I learned. We should all be involved at a state level. Do you guys know how easy it was to get into our building? How easy it was to go and listen to the state's priority, go to these subcommittees, sign up to talk, speak to a body, a decision-making body. It was great. We had our schedule. They're a little different. Like they go out of order. They didn't go in order at all. We just sit there for like an hour and a half for number 2 item to come up because it came up last. But either way, I thought it was a very interesting process. The first time I was involved in it, as many of you guys know, I went up there to learn, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really did. It was definitely interesting. I liked speaking to my politicians. I don't like some of their answers, and I like holding them accountable to what they need to do to represent Floridians first and Manatee County. Well, Manatee County first and then Floridians seconds because most of our politicians are for us specifically. So I thought it was interesting. I don't know, guys. I think you guys, if you're anything in politics, I think you guys need to go to your state capital. I think you guys need to go to your state capital because I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed being involved at that level. It was a great process, just great. So anyways, guys, I want to let you know we are going to do a live. It's 1:13 now. We're going to do a real traditional live that we haven't done in a while. Thank you if you're supporting. I just saw something come up by here. Oh, gifted Bullhorn Betty membership. I can't see who. Is that from Brenda? Yeah, it's from Brenda. Thank you, Brenda. I love it. Appreciate it, love. Welcome to this crazy family called the Coffee Club. I eat the inside is I love. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. But we did, I think we did good. And you guys know me, whether you're on the right or the left, I still believe in democracy. I still believe in our way of life and how we handle stuff. So I will always advocate for everybody being involved and everybody being informed and everybody speaking. Because that was the thing between me and Glenn coming back. You know, we had differing of opinions the first time. Shocker. And, you know, there might be some things like, because that means if he didn't agree with me, he agreed with the other side. So there might be some things that you and the people in your community might be able to work through because Glenn, you know, he's kind of a hippie guy. He loves people and he goes off of reason and facts and he likes numbers and he likes you know, stuff like that. So I think it's very interesting that I found that out. One, but two, it does show you that even when you're on the same side of the aisle, there's always room to reach out to somebody on the opposite side of the aisle for some of the priorities or some of the things that you agree with that maybe people on your side of the aisle don't, right? So it really is good. And I do think that we as a country need to unify at some point and not be, you know, the line in the sand. But until we stop doing crazy laws, like, you know, murder up to the day of it, you know, the day of birth, you know, we can't get behind something like that. That we're a true crime community. We fight for people and homicides and stuff like that. If you can breathe, you deserve to be here. So there's just some radical stuff that I'm never going to be able to get behind, and just never going to be able to get behind ever. There's no possibility of me ever getting behind anything like that, right? So I do think there are things that get behind. I think First Amendment. We all agree on that. We all are entitled to First Amendment. And we all should be able to raise our voice without threat of assault or violence. I think we can all, on any side of the aisle, get behind any legislation that further protects or holds accountable the people that try to stifle our rights to free speech. I think is amazing. That's something that everybody should be able to get on board with. I don't think that that's a controversial issue, except white liberals will make it a controversial issue, um, which again is the cancer of America. So I, I don't think that everything that you're hearing in the news, a whole lot of people really agree with. It's like the old adage: the person that's screaming the loudest is most likely the culprit, right? And I think that that's what we're seeing here. All these people are out there screaming the loudest, trying to draw attention, but they're the cancer in our country. Nobody else agrees with. What you're seeing out there in the street, the right or nor the left actually agree with. These are people, and we're finding out from the Dominion machines, the elections were truly stolen. So my theory that some of these governors, like Tim Walz, were installed actually are holding major water, folks. Major water. So it makes me wonder how many more politicians never won their election yet are running states into the ground. And I think we need to find out that answer. Just me personally, it's affecting all of us, But more importantly, this fraud, who it's affecting the most? The most disadvantaged of us. The people that have medical problems, the people that can't go to work, the people that can't afford to put food in their bellies. This fraud is affecting them the most. It's not affecting you. It's not affecting me. I mean, yeah, we're paying taxes. Yeah, we're paying for the fraud. And yes, we're suffering because that money's not going to our families or ourselves or to that vacation or to this or to that, whatever the case may be. Yeah, it's affecting us that way. But the people that are truly being affected physically by this theft are the most disadvantaged of us in this country. It is the people that don't have the resources. It's the people that don't have the money to go to the grocery store and buy groceries. It's the people that have babies that can't afford to put baby food in their babies, that can't afford to diaper their children. That's who this money was stolen from. We're still going to be paying taxes most likely for the rest of our life because our freaking government is corrupted. Okay? But the money that we don't want stolen, it should be going to children, families, and people that are disabled or too old to take care of themselves. That's what we put money aside for. And then I find out that they have this continuing resolution package that's coming through, and they're putting in $375,000 for a pillow festival. What the fuck is the government doing paying for a pillow festival? Cut it out. I'm so sick and tired of this fraud. That is straight fraud. A pillow festival? Come on. Come on. Whatever. Anyways, we'll be back in the office in a few hours. I'm thinking about 6 or 7. I'll do a live. We're going to do probably a live on Sebastian Rogers. We haven't touched his case in a little while. I'm hearing that there may be some updates in the Lily and Jack Sullivan case that we could cover, because I remember I got an item that's going to be crediting Justin for All, which is in our chat. He did something that I'm going to be playing tonight. He had something. I remember I got a clip of you. So we'll be going over that. And we might be going over any other, like the church, them going into the church and rioting. It looks like finally some arrests are now being had. We'll go over those. So we got a good lineup for a live later tonight, but I've got to get it set up. I got to get everything pooled so we can have an intelligent conversation. So if you guys would like to be around for that, again, it'll be a little later. We're at 1:20, so I don't know, maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock, something like that. I'm sorry I haven't been with you guys, but I had duty calls, and I just pray that the support for the channel still goes on whenever I have to step away from the channel, because this is what makes the world go round, and we've got to be up here fighting for it each and every day. So anyways, guys, I love you. God bless you. And I hope you guys are visiting with me later tonight for our live. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.